this is Zach Green's Binder, where I do predictions of the future. If you like me to do prediction field, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder, we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you put it on your calendar so don't miss out. Let's get started with today's show as we're waiting for people to show up. Let's do the card of the day. Okay, so this is a message from Universe to us for today. We got Pop Rocks. Hello, Pop Rocks. So the card for today for our message is honoring your true feelings. So instead of going with the crowd and all that sort of thing, as we move along with everything going on around the planet, making sure that we stick to our guns with our true feelings and our true thoughts and not be swayed by the majority of people, okay? Because usually that's incorrect. And using our psychic abilities to see through all the baloney and all that sort of thing going on right now. So always trust your true feelings, trust your gut instincts on many of the things that have been going on around you, and being true to yourself, okay? Always be true to yourself and be the best you can be. So that's our card for today. Let's get started with some of the questions that were asked before the show on our wonderful Discord. We got Daisy Chains. Hello, everybody. So BlackRock, it seems that they're going to be getting their ETF. This is the feeling that I'm getting. And there's not much that is going to be standing in their way. Okay. They might, prolong it and all that sort of thing. And I think the market's reacting to this information that's coming out. So they're going to be playing it. Okay. Basically what I'm feeling. I am feeling in the next couple of weeks that they're going to have an official mention or announcement about them getting their ETF for Bitcoin in the next little while. Okay, you have to remember, BlackRock is pretty much owns everything, and not that long ago they started buying Bitcoin. I wonder why. Their computer, which they use to figure out what to buy and what not to buy, basically said, buy lots of Bitcoin. And that's pretty much what I've been telling everybody here. Buy your Bitcoin, not financial advice. Of course, you do what you want to do. But it is the path for it. It is the trend for it. And we're seeing many of the great banking industry and the big companies getting into Bitcoin. And it makes you wonder why. I wonder what's up with that. Okay. It's probably because that is going to be the new system that's going to be coming into line. And it's going to be the alternative to the CBDCs, especially for the rich people. They don't want to be playing around with CBDCs. They want to be free. You have to remember that CBDCs are limited. It's limited geography, which we already found out here in Canada, because the Toronto Dominion Bank here in Canada kind of quietly did a little bit of CBDC thing, and it really blew up in their face. And you get to be only have that cash for a short period of time. So rich people not put up with that, and we're finding out that there's going to be back doors from CBDCs to Bitcoin on many of the exchanges that are coming out. They're going to have a back door. So rich people just take their Bitcoin, put it in the CBDC, buy the stuff, and then whatever's excess is going to be put back into the Bitcoin. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. Probably not just for rich people, okay, but they're not telling anybody else. And so many of the regular folks out there are not going to be privy to this information. Okay. And they're going to feel that they're stuck into the CBDC situation. So the situation with the BlackRock getting the ETF, we're going to have that happily ever after scenario going on with that for them. Doesn't mean it's going to be amazing for us regular folks, but it is going to be pumping the price in a major way. Okay. Once they get everything settled and dust settles and all that sort of thing, we're going to start to see the Bitcoin start to climb. Okay. Because everybody will be excited and all that sort of thing. And a lot of other people are going to start to pile in once everybody figures what's going on. Okay. The other cards that are coming up is, to be honest with ourselves, that it is a controlled state now. Bitcoin is now controlled by the elites because they bought it all and everybody else sold all theirs because they panicked, and moving forward fearlessly with that plan. And it goes back to that dream I had previously. Once all the elites have bought all the Bitcoin or a good portion of it, and now they want to make a profit. Now they're going to be having the dancing girls and the singing monkeys and all kinds of wonderful commercials that are going to be out there. And that's going to be in the next year or so that we're going to start to see this. Okay. And it's going to take a while to unbrainwash the masses into liking Bitcoin. And that's going to be pumping up the price in a very short period of time after that process starts to happen. But you got to educate all the people out there, and you got to unbrainwash everybody from the other brainwashing, right? So that's BlackRock for today. UFOs, big on the news. Lots of things coming out about that. And this is because of something Cliff High was saying in a past video of his from a long time ago, that much of the hush money, all these high-level Pentagon and military people have been keeping quiet about many of the things going on behind the scenes, are now being revealed. And it's because the American government and governments around the world are losing money. They don't have the money to pay these people to keep quiet. So we're going to see a lot more things coming out, stuff I already knew from years ago, from talking to different people, especially Paul Elder, who is the remote viewer that started the American system for the military called Stargate. It's a TV show, but it's an actual program within the U.S. government military for psychics. Now, he keeps telling one of the jobs that he gets, because he's a contractor from Canada, he's from Manitoba, is the contract would be that he has to see when they take this pen from the UFO that they've captured from a long time ago, and they want to study it. Some company wants to study it. So they got to transport it from point A to point B. Okay. So what his job would be is to see with his abilities and using remote viewing if he can spot the couriers. And the thing is, if he can spot it using his abilities, that means the enemy can also see the courier, bringing the little alien pen from point A to point B. So I knew a lot about the UFOs and all that sort of thing from a long time ago because of work that many of the mediums and psychics that I know have been doing. So With that said, of course, I had a family friend that actually fell on top of a UFO and got his stomach scorched with lettering and stuff like that from the hot side. So he had alien letters on his stomach. That was in Falcon Lake. Okay, look it up. It's one of those unsolved mysteries about UFO sightings. So that there's what sparked much interest by me that it is real by meeting this gentleman. He was one of my grandfather's friends. Okay, so there's the UFOs, and that's going to be coming out more and more as we move along. And I think most people are going to go, yeah, we already knew that. It's nice of you to finally admit to it. Let's throw some more cards down here for this UFOs being revealed, and it was actually a couple other psychics that were saying that all this information is going to be coming out, and they're going to be showing all the black sites and all that sort of thing that are not listed by the U.S. government, or Congress doesn't know anything about these things. It's the deep state that runs these things. And there's going to be brand new opportunities that are going to be coming out of this situation because of the technology was always hidden. And so groups of scientists couldn't look at one object. Okay? They had to compartmentalize everything. So now that the cat is out of the bag, now all the scientists can look at one thing from around the world and study it and make much better understanding and reverse engineering many of the components quicker. It's when you get a component and you're one guy or two guys looking at, you can't defer to another scientist that may be an expert in something. So it takes a long time for them to figure out what the pen is, okay, because it's limited. So they would have to ship this thing to the other person that's the expert. He has to have a look. So it would be this lengthy process of trying to discover that it's an alien pen. So a lot of quicker reverse engineering on many of the things that they've had for centuries. And more of this is going to be coming out as we move along. And it's going to be one of the factors that's going to help bring us to the next level of enlightenment. Okay? That we're not the only ones in the universe. Duh. And it's going to be changing most things around us, especially in this religious aspect. Okay, so all these things are going to be coming to the forefront in the next 2 to 3 months, and now we're going to have inquiries and all that wonderful stuff. So that was part of the UFOs. Now, the title of today's show is "Hold On to Your Dreams." Of course, another ELO song that this title was taken from. To remind ourselves that before we get all caught up in all the stupidity of everything, to always focus on the things that you want and always utilize that white light, and utilizing that with our abilities of the law of attraction, the law of action. They always have to go together. And I'm probably the only one on the internet that tells you the truth on that aspect. Okay, they haven't studied the 12 laws, okay, of the universal laws. So you always have to have those two in working together. You just can't sit there and wish for things to happen. You have to take the action. God helps those who help themselves. That was what they were talking about. It's one of the few things that I actually take from the Bible. the Christian Bible. It's just not in the Christian Bible. There's different ways of saying it from different religions and philosophies to move your dreams forward. So if you have a dream and you focus and you write it down with your alien pen, you put it on the fridge or somewhere where you look all the time, okay, kind of, or a dream board, even better. And then you start to take steps towards those goals by doing actions every day to achieve that goal, right? And along the way, this is where the law of attraction comes in. You're going to get information and people and other things to help you along the way. Okay. This is how the universe helps you on your journey. It'll keep throwing information and books and audio tapes back in the day, people and conversations and all that. Throw them at you so it will help you along the way. Doesn't mean you're going to get it like that. Okay. Sometimes you do. But you have to go through the process to learn all the things, especially if you're starting from zero with no understanding of the goal, and then becoming the expert in that field. So always hold on to your dreams. When it doesn't happen immediately, it doesn't mean the universe is saying no. It just means that you're maybe not going the right direction quite yet, and it's going to throw universe going to throw more information at you to study and to move in the right direction, and you trial and error and all that sort of thing, much faster than sitting there hoping and wishing and dreaming. Okay, so there's the lesson for today. Hold on to your dreams. It's a wonderful process. Okay, the Discord channel I mentioned a couple times. If you'd like to be part of our Discord channel, I'm going to put it into the chat here. Of course, I'm working alone today. The wife is at work. So I'll throw it into the chat so everybody can grab it and you can be part of our community. I know a lot of people love talking here on the live show, which is awesome. It is social media, by the way, ping social and the social media. So make sure you grab that link. Also, it's also on our secondreadingsby.com website where you can grab it from there as well. Okay, let's get into the chat for today. Yep. Way, I feel like the friendly giant. Look way up. Oh. That's a long time ago that show was on TV. It was a Canadian show for kids. On some hill anywhere, or the Christian or the Muslim or the any of the established religions, all based on the spiritual aspect, but they try to make it more into a cult, okay, where they can control other people. So that if you read I've read the entire Bible actually, and the Quran and all of them, and it's all set up to control you and your actions, okay, in a not so great way. Okay, and they got a lot of things in there about hatred of other things. So the God aspect, it can be looked at as different things. I look at it as the universal mind or the great spirit in different philosophies, but I don't believe in the Christian God or the Buddhist or Buddhism doesn't have gods, Hindu or any of that, but I'd be more onto the spiritual side of things. Okay. I started off as a Christian back when I was young and in the Salvation Army Church, playing my cornet on the street corner for Christmas time. This is where I got my start. Grew up in the Salvation Army Church. Okay. Lots of great stuff. Did a lot of great things for other people, uh, especially playing on street corners for Christmas time in the freezing cold. Well, a chord is like a trumpet, but smaller, and the mouthpiece is freezing to my lips. Breathing on my. And then I mainly became a Buddhist after that. And that led into spiritualism. So it went from Christianity, which I followed, but not to the extent that many people do, because I saw the flaws, especially early on. And then I became a Buddhist because it made more sense overall. And then I became more spiritual as I got more in tune with the psychic abilities and doing my kung fu practice back in the day. Okay, so it was a progression. It just didn't happen like that. I went from one philosophy and slowly moved into spiritualism as my understanding of the universe grew. Okay, religion kind of keeps you constrained in a little box, and that wasn't me. Okay, and it might not be you. Nothing wrong necessarily with religion overall, but if you feel the edges of the box and you want to go beyond them, you might have to go elsewhere, okay, to increase your understanding of the universe. Okay, hopefully that answers that question. Have you ever had any experiences? Yeah, many. What else we got here? Diane M2015 would like a general card, 3-card reading. No problem. This is the time when you're going to have to look at a situation as it truly is and not the thing that you hope it to be. You have to be true with yourself and what the situation is and then grow from that. Okay, there's a situation when you're hoping is something else, and you're kind of painting it with this brush that it's not what you're actually seeing. But when you actually start to see the thing for what it is, then you can grow from that and actually excel in the thing that you're starting to work on. Okay, once you start to do that, universe is going to spin you around and move you into a different direction. Okay, once you start to see things for what they are. Okay. And then it's going to be leading you down a path that is going to be much, much better for you and much, much easier for you than the thing that you've initially conceived of. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. And you're going to be actually more creative in the process once you start to see it for what it is. It may take a little bit of time because you have to rearrange your thinking process a little bit to grasp onto the job related thing that you've been looking at, and you're trying to paint it in a different color than it actually is. So once you start to see for what it is, which is going to take 2 to 3 weeks, then you go, oh, okay. And then working with that particular energy, I think you're going to do much, much better in the long haul. May not look at it like that in the very beginning, but once you get into the motion and the flow, it's going to go much, much better for you. Okay? Thank you for that. And I hope that helps you out. Very sickly in the UK today. lots of things going on in Europe right now. Let's just do a quick read on what's in the UK. Make sure that you don't get in the way of things. All right. You're going to start to see everything in the UK as for what it actually is. And you're going to start to laugh at the king without clothes. The king has no clothes. That scenario. And you're going to see that they don't realize that they're not wearing the clothes. I think that's how you say that. And you're going to do a different visualization. It's going to be making those world leaders and all that sort of thing coming out of the UK as moot. Once you start to see them for who they are, you're going to see a way around them that they're not that smart. Okay. Many of these evil leaders around the world are not the smartest. They're creative, kind of, but they're not that smart. And they don't understand how people react to things in their calculations. And I'm thinking that this is going to be the death knell for many of the politicians around the world. Okay. And including the UK. Very interesting times that we live in. Keep focused on the exact things that you want, and you're going to get to where you need to be. UK interest rates by Christmas. Oh, that's going to be fun. You give extra light to the people in UK. They're really getting the brunt of everything going on. And it's kind of the canary in the coal mine for the rest of us, that what's happening there is going to be happening everywhere else. Okay, it's starting, like I said previously, it's going to start in the smaller countries, and then it's going to expand out. And we're already seeing that. Okay. You're going to have to think of ways around this particular situation because it's going to get out of hand. And this is the point in time when all the financial systems start to go topsy-turvy, and people are going to start to look for different systems to get their currencies into their wealth. Okay. So teach people about Bitcoin. Okay. Because you have to weather the storm. Okay. Interest rates are going to go sky high in the next little while. Of course, they're going to start doing money printing. So value or everybody's currency is going to drop in its usability, or the what's it called? When you buy things, purchasing value of your money is going to go almost to zero. And when that starts to happen, people start to lose faith in currencies. So they're going to have to raise the interest rates everywhere and continuously print money until it goes out in a sea of money, and the value of your currency is going to go out to the toilet like everywhere else. So yeah, it's going to be pretty high by Christmas time, and this is when we're going to start to see those changes happen around the world for different systems. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Will PTC dip again? It did today, a little bit. I keep saying yes, it's gonna dip, even though we have all the BlackRock information coming out. Yes, it's gonna dip a little bit, not huge, not that low. It's gonna be kind of like it's been for the last little while. And then it's going to start to ramp up as we get closer to the BlackRock thing happening, the ETF, and the halving. It's a 4-year cycle. So, yeah, it'll dip a tiny bit. But if you're looking for the best price, right now it's probably the time. The reason I keep saying this, and people are like, I gotta get the smallest price possible. Don't do that. Because many of the exchanges have very little Bitcoin on them. People are storing their Bitcoin on their wallets. So if you go to buy some Bitcoin, there's a very limited amount. Okay. And when the price dips and you're going to go for that price, doesn't mean that there's going to be Bitcoin there to buy. This is why I keep right now is the time. If that's what you're looking for, the best price, you probably get it now. If that's what you're looking for. Because when the price drops and you go to the store to buy some Bitcoin, there's no Bitcoin on the shelf. And I don't want you guys going without Bitcoin. Okay? So hope that helps you out. Prob, short term. Not sure what that means. Silver price by Christmas, please. It's going to be going up pretty good in the next little while. I'm thinking that silver is going to be juggling around with the rest of. You have to remember all these dips and rises and stuff. It's just not crypto. It's all other markets because they're all unfortunately attached to one another. They're still connected. So when the big stock market crashes or dips, Bitcoin dips, silver dips, Bitcoin dips. Once they start printing money again, like nuts, then you're going to see all the stocks and Bitcoin and all that start to go up. And plus all this information from BlackRock is going to be taking a big push for the price, everything to start to go up. And this is the moment of time when BlackRock will want to make a profit. Okay. And that includes silver. I don't know the exact number, but it's all around that Christmas season that we're going to see rises in all the different markets. Okay. But with that, with all the stock markets and all that going high, it doesn't mean anything for the regular person who's not into the markets. They're going to be not in a good position. Okay. So just hang on to the things that you have. My silver is locked up in the safe. Same with my gold. I'm not worried about it. There will be a time to use it. It's just the waiting that gets on your nerves. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Waiting, winter. Better buying opportunity in August? Maybe. I'm not seeing that. I think right now is the best time to buy stuff. Okay. While it's still to be bought on the markets. You have to remember, normally Bitcoin is at 16%. The amount of Bitcoin on the exchanges is about 16%. Right now it's at 6. Now, if everybody rushes out to buy some, then there's not enough to supply everybody. And of course, that'll make the price. You got the supply and demand issue, right? I don't want you to be without Bitcoin if you need it. Okay? Just buy some. I won't vet outpace BTC in multiples in 2024. For what it is, but I don't think BTC is going to be knocked off its pedestal. but you, of course, may make more in the short term with that than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin to move up 1% or 2 takes a lot of energy, where VAT is very small in comparison. So going up little levels doesn't take as much energy or effort. Buy, then you sell it as soon as it makes a profit. I've never gotten into that. I just focus on the bigger cryptocurrencies for myself. And I just sit on them. It's done well. Got my Bitcoin at $600. Now it's $34,000. So I'm not complaining, and I don't need it right away. You have to imagine what you need it for. Okay. Do you need it for survival every day? Or is it just something to have when the markets go belly up? And then you have that security of the cryptocurrencies on your treasure in cold storage, not on the exchanges. And once you need it, you use it. Okay. And there's going to be a time when people would rather prefer Bitcoin over cash. Okay. There's that time is coming up. 2024, I think it's going to be outpacing it a little bit in the short term. Okay. In that period of time. Andre, my son lost his patience with company he worked for, so left. When do you see him getting a new job? I think we mentioned this previously. Um, 3 months was the first number that came up. And I think at that period of time, he's going to get something else that's going to be in his knowledge base. And it's going to be a little bit more freeing for him when it does come. But it's going to take a little bit of time, depending on how patient he is. Right now, you shouldn't be messing around. But it will come along in about 3 months' time. Okay. And it'll probably be more to his. Here's the thing. I think I remember this reading from before. If he had stayed in there, he would have uncovered this other place while he was still working, and they'd just do the switch up. But he took the initiative. I'm out of here. And then now he's have to go around looking for a new thing. And this is the thing that he was going to be finding while he was still working. So about 3 months time. So hopefully he has some finances to tide him over until then. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out. Pop Rocks. A general 3-card reading. Haven't been looking at my time. We're still good. For Pop Rocks, peace of mind is going to be coming your way as you figure out something that you've been puzzled over for quite some time. I'm thinking that you're going to be getting into some new understanding of the universe around you coming up very, very soon. And you're going to be taking a different direction with many of the things that you have been doing. Okay. There's going to be some new friendships that come out of that particular situation, and they're going to be very beneficial to you in that period of time. And you're going to be changing some aspects of yourself to more adults that were kind of held down for some time, and you're going to have some understanding of why things are the way that they are. Okay. So it's going to be some interesting growth period for you in the next little while. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. Candace Owens for 2024. Okay. Is that the actress? She's going to be constrained in some reason. For some reason, I think that what she thought she was going to achieve, she's not going to be able to for whatever reasons. There's some things that are going to be holding her down for a short period of time. So she's not going to be overcoming many of the things that are in front of her like she figured she would. Um, I'm thinking that it may be another year or so that she can come out of this particular situation. Overall, I think it's going to be much better for her, but what she thought was going to be easy will not be easy because of other entities trying to keep her down. And so she's going to have to battle that for the next year or so. Okay. So 2024 is going to be a bit of a slog for her. Even though she's having victories and all that, there's still the final boss that she has to contend with. Okay? Thank you for that. Can I have a reading for my daughter and myself? She's going to be pulling away from you in a little bit in some aspect. She's going to go. She might even make that face for one reason or another. I think whatever idea that you have for the both of you, she's going to go, no. That came across very strong. Not sure what this is about, but it's going to be coming up very, very soon. Something that you suggest to her should probably one of those things that doesn't make sense. Makes sense to us at the moment, but it doesn't make, and she catches onto it very quickly. For yourself, it's going to be a moment in time for the next little while where you're going to be seeing many of the things that you've been working on coming true. Okay, you've been working hard, you've been focusing, you've been putting that white light, you're doing the actions, and it's going to be starting to come into fruition once you start to let yourself go into that direction. Okay, freely. A lot of people are trying to get to their goals and they got a 10-ton weight on their back, which they don't need. If you're going to climb the mountain of success, pack light. Okay, don't bring all your baggage with you. Once you start to release many of this baggage that you do not need and repack, then everything is going to be much, much easier for you in the long run in the next 2 to 3 months for yourself. So you can get a running start on many things. So look at that baggage that you've been carrying around and resort it out, throw out the things that you don't need, and rethink your approach above the on top of the mountain of success for whatever the things that you are doing. Okay, and I think this is part of the thing that the your daughter went is probably you're airing your laundry. Why do you keep that around? Get rid of that. And I think that's kind of the discussion that there is. For her, she's going to get actually more and more focused on certain parts of her life and moving forward fearlessly. Okay. And she's going to be very aware of the things around her and she's going to be utilizing those in a great way. And it's not laughing time, it's being serious time for her. And make sure that you help her along with that journey. Okay? Hopefully that helps the both of you. And get back to me if she goes, something that you said. It'd be kind of fun to hear. I understand that your Domino is buying me some silver for Xmas. Please deliver personally. So we'll put it on his back. He can go all the way to UK. He's sleeping in his new box. We got an Amazon order the other day. And they love the boxes, so keep the box out for him. Relationship, please, Andre. With me? Okay. I know what you mean. Now, make sure that you get your safe, Bob. Get one of those big honkers. The guy we went to on the meetings, he has a huge safe. It's a big red one. And they had to take the front of the building off and bring it in with a crane. It's not big. He puts all of his gold and silver in there. There's no way hacking this thing. Big old safe. Relationships. Just your intuition, which is the first card that comes up. Your inner power is going to be shining through to show you that some of the situations, the baggage, probably going back to that baggage thing that you're carrying around with you, will not serve you in getting that relationship that you want. You have to remember what comes back to us is what we're reflecting into the universe. So you get who you are and not exactly what you want. So if the thing that keeps coming back to you is not exactly to your liking, this is the time to look in the mirror and go, what do I got to change? It usually comes with that baggage that we all got baggage. It's nothing horrible or bad or wrong. I got baggage. The wife has baggage. Everybody has baggage. Now, the power comes from looking at the baggage and picking out the things that you don't need anymore and check it. Why am I carrying this around? And this affects everything in your life. Okay? That baggage that you carry around. So this is the time. The relationship will be there. It's just you have to do some tidying up in your bags. Okay? And it's going to be coming soon after you go through that. The best times are self-discovery and becoming more than what we were. Okay? And in that process, sometimes somebody taps you on the shoulder like the wife did. Go, hey. And it's always when you're not looking for it. When me and the wife met, I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was healing from an old relationship. So I busied myself with other things. And this is where I got really involved in the church, doing all the work, being part of the church board and all that sort of thing. And then the wife saw me and chased me for 2 years till she caught me. And the rest is history. So, and that was me going through my baggage. Okay. And throwing out the things that I don't need and repacking. And through that process, that's when me and the wife met. And I think that process may be in store for yourself. Okay? Thank you for that. French churches burning down twice the rate each week that mosques are being built. They're kind of related, but kind of not. You have to remember um, the people who go to mosques follow the same philosophy, just in a different way. They both have the Old Testament. Okay, it's both started off at the same. You have to remember the Christian and the Muslim. At one point, they were the same. At one point, okay, and then these two brothers that were part of Jesus' brothers. Okay, this is the story. They had a disagreement and they separated. Okay, because of that separation, they both initially follow the same doctrine. Okay, and then had that disagreement, and now you got differing philosophies. Christian churches, unfortunately, haven't been the nicest of places. Either has the Muslim world throughout history, a lot of the philosophy, but I don't not follow either one. I don't think they're actually related. I think it's separate. Okay. I don't think the Muslims are out burning churches. I think it's another entity that's actually doing that. This is a situation from higher situation. Okay. It's kind of that energy getting rid of a lot of I'm not saying Christians are evil, but many of the practitioners that are the head are. And this is the backlash from all those years of doing the evil stuff. Okay. Energy wise, how it happens, everybody can be an agent of the universal mind. Okay. In one way, one fashion or another. And because we got the higher consciousness card. Okay. That's attached to this. And having harmony back into the world doesn't necessarily mean Christianity. It probably should be more spiritual. People are still tied into the religious framework. Okay. I don't think they're actually attached to one another. Okay. Thank you for that. Did you ETs that landed recently come from inner Earth? There's some of the. It's just not one species that comes here. There's several. I forget the name of the species that uses portals from the inside of our planet. And plus, there's a species that does live within the inside of the planet in an altered dimension. So if you dug down deep, you wouldn't find it unless you go through certain portals around the planet. One is in Antarctica, I believe, and the other one's in the North Pole. Recently, there's so many landings recently. It's hard to tell. Could be. And there's some from other parts of the galaxy that have come here. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Didn't we do that? Yeah, we're back at the top for some reason. How are we doing on that? New Thor. See, there's that speech impediment I talked about last time. Thorium reactors can eat nuclear waste and its radioactivity to 300 years. Yes, there was an actual good YouTube video on that. It doesn't have to be thorium. You know the word. There's actually ways of cycling nuclear waste. Okay, where it can get down to a lifespan of almost nothing. The governments of the world didn't want to do that because they thought it was too costly, but there is new movement into recycling nuclear waste and reusing it in nuclear reactors. Nuclear reactors are probably the cleanest energy that we can produce overall, because much of the waste, okay, can be recycled. Look it up on YouTube. There's a great YouTube video on that. The other reactors, cold reaction, is another method. They're huge in India, actually, and much of the research has been done there. So maybe you look at that as well. There's a lot of information out there on that. And 300 years can be reduced to almost nothing by recycling. Okay? So you got some homework for later. Is ledger safe to use after finding out there might be a back door? There's all this hoopla, and a lot of it is just fear mongering about the ledger. I don't use ledger personally. It was an option that you can sign on to. You don't have to do that. It's a part of the protocol that they're putting into place in case you lost your keywords, 12 or 15 words, to get into your ledger. Okay? You don't have to sign on to it. If you don't sign on to that program, your ledger is still safe. A lot of YouTubers made tons of videos getting all the clicks using fear mongering. The ledger is still safe. What you're talking about is the recovery thing is a thing they added on just in case you lost your keys. You don't have to sign up to that. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Pop Rocks tells you all about it. Oh, they canceled it. There you go. Haha, Bob. What about Tangem wallets? Don't know much about them. I'm picking up they're okay. I don't know how easy or hard they are to use. So I like the Treasure because it's pretty easy and safe. This one I don't know too much about because I haven't used it personally. Oh, Pop Rocks is giving you the lowdown on all the wallets here. Why it keeps putting me to the top again? We do. Oh, we're past time. Okay. Stop doing Illuminati sign and devil sign. Could be my waving my hands around when I talk. Okay. I'm not intentionally doing that. And I don't even know what that Illuminati sign would be. And the devil thing. Devils I don't believe in anyway. So the devil, that's a construct of the Zoroastrian religion, which influenced the Christian religion back in the day. Back when Palestine was the Zoroastrian religion, they conquered the Jewish people in Israel. That was religion that they brought to them. They were the first ones that had the concept of good God, bad God. So a little bit of history there for you. Okay, with that said, closing up the show so we can get ready for the next one. Where is it? There it is. If you like the personal reading with me, make sure to go to secondreadingsboundary.com, where all that information is there. If you like a personal healing from my wife, the Reiki Master, make sure you go to secondreadingsboundary.com, where all that information is there as well. If you like to participate in any of our affiliate programs, know that we make a little bit of money from that purchase, including Treasure. So that's just a disclaimer. You have to do it. And so until we meet again, make sure you come back for the 11:15 show, where we're going to go through some remote viewing for everybody. There's the number for today's show. So make sure you come out to 11:15 right after this. Okay? So there you go. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.